In 2023, I started a brand new company that made $1.5 million in rev, and we cash collected around 950 grand. Now, the reason I want to show you this video is that a lot of people think that it takes a very long time to scale a company. And I just want to show you that it's not true. Once you know that something is working and you're actually tracking your data and you can actually predictably scale, which is the key part. That's why you track your data correctly if you can predictably scale, that it doesn't take too long. It did take me a long time to kind of get the offer correctly. That's the part that it took me a long time. But once, it actually took me like a couple months to get it correctly. But even though I was still making sales, I was just making sales at a way lower price ticket. The price was actually, I think it was $7,000 or $8,000. And the more I got the program, pretty much almost like a Rubik's Cube type of thing, the more I got the program figured out, the more I came increasing the price until eventually got to where we are right now. This is my highest high ticket coaching. Like, this is the highest offer I do provide. And how I found this offer was pretty much I've been doing about 150 to 200K months in my funding company. And then in the middle of that, I was doing that for about 2 years. A lot of credit and funding companies like, yo, how are you doing these numbers? How do I even pass 30K months? I'm stuck at this 20, 30K months window. And I knew just because it was client acquisition. So I was like, okay, let me help more credit and funding companies build a client acquisition model inside their companies. And that was kind of what the offer started, and it just kept growing and growing and growing. And now that it built into pretty much a beast of a company. And it's actually going to be my most profitable company, my biggest company ever. This is the company that I'm taking to $1 million a month pretty soon. I think around March or April or maybe even May or so, we should be hovering around the $1 million a month plus. So let me just show you a little bit of the income every year and per month, how you can see how it started and how it ended. So let me show you right now. So this is one of our data trackers for the company. Let me zoom in a bit more. Give me 1 second. So let me see, this is just like how much money we'll be spending on ads and stuff like that. So it was around $200,000 in ad spend. Very important number. We got about 10,000 messages. We booked about almost 600 calls. We took around 240 calls. 100 people no show. But I want to show you also like the beginning. You can see how the program just started at a very, very, very low. Like, the revenue of the company, the first month it did 14,000. We only cash collected seven grand. Next month we did 28. Then we did 31. Then we did 67. Then we did 52. Then we did, I think here, it's when I actually started getting like, okay, this is the offer. Like, things started clicking in my head more of exactly how to present the offer and how to market it. It was around this time. So you can see here, like, I'm just like here on just 6 months, I'm already making a huge chunk of money. Most people take a year just to get to like a 50K a month. And like, that's why I want to remind you guys that, like, once you know your numbers, your cost per acquisition, your marketing very well, you can predictably scale. It doesn't take too long. Now that I had already like the offer, the price, and the marketing, all I had to do is just crank up the ad spend. And if we go to ad spend, you can see that all I'm doing every month is just spending more and more money into one of the month. Actually, this is half of the revenue. Like, the last month, I think I spent it was like 50 something. So we kept, some here are missing. So here in November, we're missing like a good 10 grand. And here we're missing another 20. So that's because we had two different ad accounts running, and I was tracking just one. But yeah, towards the end, we're spending at least 40 to 50K. So this number might be correct, but this one might be off by 20. This one might be off by 20 or something. So we were just how we were scaling, it just increasing the ad budget every single month, month to month, almost doubling in some cases, and that's how we reached these numbers. Like I said, 152, then 156, then 84, then 161, then two. If anything, I'm gonna zoom out a bit more if you can see month by month. So hold up, give me a second, guys. So in January it was 14,000, and February 28,000, March we go to 31, April 67. So that's already just in 4 months. Then in May 52, June 156. So we actually got 100 grand more than the month prior to that, which is badass. Then we have 160. No, then we go back to 84. Then 161. Then 256, 257, 176, and then 286, which is the number that we've been hovering around that 250, 300K mark. Like this month in January, I think we're gonna do about another 280 or 300. And also, here's if you want to see more like my cost per acquisition and kind of what the numbers look behind it. My cost per acquisition was around where is this? Oh, I don't know why it says it's NI, but my cost per acquisition was anywhere between 6 grand, sometimes even 4. You can see all the math here, how much I spent on ad. You can see also the ROAS, my return on investment, which is pretty cool. Like the actual profit after, because well, one thing after this profits up to ads, there's not actual the profit because I also paid employees, so I didn't add that here. But you can what I actually took home in reality was probably like 480,000 around there, 450. Because I have employees and I have a bunch of apps and all that stuff. So that was actually the profits. So this he just here says, oh, you guys don't even see this. I'm sorry. Let me scroll a bit down. So here you can see, let me see if I can maybe minimize it one bit for you guys to see it better. Maybe I could move my, give me a second, guys. I'm just going to move my camera real quick. Yeah, so if you guys see there, here it's 205 grand we did in ad spend, 1.5 in revenue, almost $1 million in cash collected, and then 733 grand in profit after ads. So it's almost like a 8 ROAS pretty much. So you can see it's like a very, very, very profitable company. We're hovering over 60% margins. So it's very, very healthy. So if you guys want to look more like in a month to month, like I could go into look like our biggest month ever. You can see that we're spending quite a lot on ads. It's 900. Like we went here almost to 2K a day. We spent 30 grand, and here kind of like what the numbers look like. My cost per acquisition was 3 grand that month. Lead to call booked, message to close, revenue calls taken. So this is pretty much every time I take a call, I make around $17,000. This is just like an inspiration for you to be like, hey, keep taking calls. You're averaging almost 17 grand on revenue per call, which is absolutely insane. Then my cost per book call is 420, and that's a good number right there. No show up rate is 7. This is a very important number because if you have a high no show up rate and a bunch of people are booking a call but they're not showing up, it's a problem. You get me? So that's why it's very important. So that month on Rev, we did actually on ROAS, we did like a 9, which is very, very, very strong number. So the main point I want this video is just to get like, it doesn't take long to scale. And I see this time and time again with a lot of entrepreneurs that they're taking like, let me give you an example. Like I get a bunch of DMs every day, like 200, 300 DMs every single day. And then I ask them, hey, how long you been in the credit space or in the funding space? And they tell me 3 years, 4 years. I'm like, damn. And I'm like, okay, you must be already crushing it. How much you making per month? And they're like, oh, I'm only doing about, I don't know, man. Sometimes I hear as low as 5K a month, 6K a month. I'm like, are you even running a business? Are you even trying? Because it doesn't take that long to scale. That means they're not really trying. So if you're an entrepreneur right now, you're hearing this, and you're stuck at 8K a month, 10K a month, you're not really, like, I don't want to say you're not really trying because that's a bit harsh. Maybe you're trying the wrong things. You're focusing on the wrong things. Like something that you're doing is not adding up because it doesn't take long to scale. Once you have a good offer and the market agrees with it and like, and everything makes sense and you have the numbers right, you're meaning your cost per acquisition, it shouldn't take you too long to scale. It should take you a couple of months max. And I just wanted to realize that I grew and this company, I already had multiple companies while I was doing this. I came out for almost filing bankruptcy, and then running a different funding company while this one was born, like pretty much accidentally. So I was moving away from the MF rental company that I was about to file for bankruptcy because I got scammed for a bunch of money, almost 500,000. So we're shutting down that company. We're also running the company where I help people get 0% funds, and then 4 or 6 months after that, then this company was born. So it's like you have no excuse. Like I had a bunch of shit going on, and still I made this company. Like I was testing the market, I read the market, and I'm like, yo, this is a good offer. I know I could scale this to the moon. I just gotta do my due diligence and present it the right way and create the right offer, and here we are. And now there's a company where I'm planning to scale as far as possible and potentially take it to $1 million a month. I'll give you guys a breakdown whenever I get there. But yeah, man, this is just a video about it doesn't take too long to scale. That like if you have the right infrastructure, the right systems, if you're tracking your data, it shouldn't be too hard to scale. And like actually, let me show you something real quick. Why it shouldn't be too hard to scale. If I go back to, so this November we did 250 grand, but let's go to like a month that I didn't do too good. Well, no, I didn't do too good. It's still crazy numbers. Look, on November, on May we did. Let me zoom out a bit. On May, we did 51,000. Let me remove this real quick for you guys can see it. We did, oh, you guys still can't see this, so give me a second. There you go. So on May we did 52,000, right? So it took me a full month to make 52,000. My thought process becomes, okay, so if it took me a full month to make 50,000, how can I make this into a week? How can I make this into a day? Now, if you're like, how the fuck, like it becomes simple. This is why it's so important to track your data. How do I do this? If this took me a whole month, 30 days to do 50,000, how do I do it in a week? And the math becomes simple. I just need to spend $15,000 on ads in 1 week instead of 1 month, because it took me 15K on ad spend in an entire month to reach 52 grand, right? Now the game becomes, if I spend 15 grand in 1 week, would I get the same results? Would I still get, if I move up a little bit, would I still get 700 messages, 61 book calls, 21 calls taken, and I close 6 people, right? So this is the data that you're getting for a whole month. So what you do is compress that data into a week or even a day. So we have actually made 250 grand in just 1 week because I had the data of how to do it in a month. You get me? Even though the numbers might be off by 20% above or below, meaning results wise, like you got to spend more on ads, or maybe you get a little bit less ROI, but the numbers are still the same. So what you do is you get a zoom out version of a month and you try to compress the entire month into a week. You get me? So if it takes you, if you spend 10 grand a month and you made 50, now I got to spend 10 grand a week before I can make 200. Right? And that's literally what becomes. That's why you see me and May doing like only 50 grand, spending only 15K a month. And then we go into November and now I'm spending, I'm sorry, give me a second. We go into November or September, I'm so sorry. And I'm spending 30K, almost double, before I could try to get more of the results. It just here, it's not really double because we got so good at the marketing that the cost went down. And we got, look at our closing rate. Our closing rate is 60%, which on May was lower. So it's like, that's why the number is not completely duplicatable. It's not like, oh, you got to spend now, 50 grand on ads for you can get the results, because you get better and better in the marketing, so the cost goes down a little bit. All right. So that's just pretty much the mindset you need to have when you're scaling. If you're a certain number, let's say 10K a month, and you want to make 10K a week, track your data and see how you can press those numbers down to a week. And if it's possible, go for it. And that's how I scale. That's how I plan to scale to $1 million a month, because I'm currently doing right now 300K a month consistently every single month. And I'm like, I got to start condensing that into a week. And if I do that for a week long, pretty much if I can make 300K or 250 every single week, I should be hovering around $1 million a month. So that's pretty much for this video. I hope you got a lot of value of how I technically scale predictably by seeing kind of like a bird's view of the whole company, and how I could kind of visualize the spending, how we could kind of like predict where to go next.